Good morning, students. Today we are starting our new chapter, chapter number 2, which is rational numbers. So, here something is written in front of you. You better know the numbers starting from 1, 2, and so on are called natural numbers. If I increase 0, these are called whole numbers, and if I add these negative numbers also, then it becomes the set of integers. So, this much we know till here. Now we shall study about what are rational numbers. So let me tell you something. So if you have any number, suppose you have 5, if you have 3, if you add them, what you get? 8. This is an integer, this is an integer. Again, after addition, what you are getting? An integer again, right? So whatever you do, like 8 into 5, suppose you're multiplying two integers, 8 is an integer, 5 is an integer. When you are multiplying them, you're getting 40, which is again an integer. What will you get if you divide 8 by this 3? This will be 8 upon 3 form. And this is not an integer, right? This is not an integer. So what is this? 8 upon 3. You know about this. This is called fraction, right? This is called fraction, and you have learned a lot of things about fractions. As we know that fractions are the numbers are written in this form a upon b, like suppose 1 upon 2 or 5 upon 3, any number of this form which is having numerator and denominator with it. But it comes with few restrictions, like the numbers which we can choose to fill these places are whole numbers. Whatever number you want to put here are only whole numbers. So we need rational numbers then. So there are rational numbers which are defined as a number which is written in p upon q form, where this q is not 0, is never 0. We have already discussed about this thing, that this q can never be 0 because 0 in denominator is meaningless and it is never defined. Okay, so this is rational number. And p and q, from where these are being taken? These are being taken from the set of integers. Okay, so this p can be -1, can be -2, or any number from the set of integers. So you define rational numbers as, if p is an integer, q is an integer, and q is not equal to 0, then the number of the form p upon q is called a rational number. For example, -17 upon 3, there can be infinite rational numbers. What is the standard form of rational number? So standard form of rational number, so whenever it's a very small thing, you don't need to worry about it too much. It's a very small thing that whenever it is written, suppose 7 upon -3, so you need to write it in this form. You just bring this minus symbol in the numerator, because in the standard form of rational number, minus or negative integer is never written in the denominator. That's it. So if someone asks you to write any number of this form where negative number is in the denominator, you simply have to write it in the numerator, and that's it. And this is called the standard form of rational number. If I write 5 upon 3, then this is a rational number, where you can see that this 5 and this 3 both are what? Integers. So if I individually write, suppose 5 here, this is also a rational number. Why? Because always it can be considered that there is 1 in the denominator. Hence, this is always a rational number. Again, 3 can be taken as, this is an integer, but this can be taken as rational number again. Right? But the converse is not true. So if I'm writing 1 upon 5, this is not integer. This is a rational number, but this is not an integer. So we can say that every integer is a rational number, but every rational number is not an integer. Every fraction is a rational number, but the converse is again not true. Okay, every fraction is a rational number. If you define p upon q as a rational number, so this is called numerator and this is called denominator. Okay, so this was our third point, that whenever we write p upon q, any number, suppose 5 upon 3, then this is the numerator and this is called denominator, right? Next, you can say that if any number, suppose minus 7 upon 11, there is minus 7 upon 11, so there is a negative symbol, so overall this will be called as negative rational number. And here it is written 7 upon 11, which is positive, so this will be called positive rational number. These are very minute things which you need to recall once and keep it in your mind for always. So what we have studied so far, let's take a short review that what are rational numbers. Rational numbers are of p upon q form, where p is the numerator and q is the denominator, where q or denominator can never be 0. And these numbers are brought from the set of integers, that is p and q both are integers. Okay, these can take negative values, these can take positive values, and it can be 0 also, but this can never be 0. Next, we have studied few examples for rational numbers. This will be negative rational number, this will be positive rational number, this will be negative rational number. Okay, what is the standard form of rational number? Any number written in this form which is having negative in the denominator will be written as minus 7 over 3. That is, minus symbol or the negative symbol will be brought up in the numerator. This will be the standard form of rational number. Next, we have studied that every integer can be called as a rational number, but the converse is not true. 1 upon 5 is a rational number, but it can never be called as integer. And same with fraction also. Every fraction is rational number, but the converse is again not true. Now, third point, the number written above is numerator, number written below is called denominator. What are positive and negative rational number? If it is having positive number, there is no negative symbol in numerator and denominator, then it is called positive rational number. Otherwise, it is called negative rational number. Now there comes a very important topic, which is representation of rational numbers on the number line. Now I would suggest you to go through it very properly and very sincerely, because this topic is going to be in your syllabus in your next standard, which is in 8th standard as well. So go through it. If you're not understanding the things, rewind the video and watch it properly again. Okay, and try to understand with me as I'm explaining in the present time. Okay, I shall be explaining this topic to you with the help of an example so that you can understand without any confusion. So there is a question that we have to represent these rational numbers. There are a lot of rational numbers written and we have to represent them on the number line and on the same number line. We shall start doing the solution by drawing a straight line. Okay? You better know how to draw a number line. Similarly, we have to draw a straight line and there we have to mark this is point O where this 0 is located. Okay, and you better know that on the right hand side of the 0 all the positive numbers are marked, and on the left hand side of this 0 all the negative numbers are marked. On the right hand side of this 0 we have to mark the points like this. Suppose we name it as, on the right hand side of the 0 we are marking these points, but keeping in mind that these are at regular intervals, that these are at equal distances. That is, the distance OA is equal to AB and BC is equal to AB, and every distance is equal to each other. Similarly, on the left hand side also we have to mark the numbers. You can name them with the help of some different alphabets also. Okay, so now you have done this. What we have done, we have taken a straight line, we have marked 0 in the middle, and on the right hand side we have marked at equal distances and labeled them with some alphabets like this. Okay, so now we are going to mark this by the numbers. Till here it's very easy, right? Now we have to mark these rational numbers and on the same number line. Now, since denominator of each given rational number is 2, so we have to mark middle points of each of these intervals. Okay, why are we doing this? Because you can see that the denominator of all these numbers is 2. That is, we have to divide every interval in 2 equal parts. Okay, so if this is an interval, so we are dividing this into 2 equal parts. For that, we need to mark its middle point so that it can be split into 2 parts. Similarly, if we are looking at this AB, then we are also splitting this into two parts. Why are we doing this? Because 2 is in the denominator. If it was 3 in the denominator, we would have been splitting this interval in 3 equal parts. You need to understand this right here. Okay, since 2 is in the denominator of every rational number which is given to you, so we are dividing this interval into 2 equal parts. If it was 3 in the denominator, we would have been splitting it into 3 parts. For that, we would have been marked here 2. Similar task we have to do on the left hand side as well. We have to divide them by marking in the middle. Okay, so this task we have done. Now all that remains to do in this question is to count from this 0 towards the right hand side and left hand side respectively, as the numbers are positive or negative. So let's start. Okay, it is given to you 1 upon 2. Let's plot this first. There is 1 in the numerator. That is, we have to walk only one distance from the 0 towards right hand side, because this is positive and this is 1, so we have to walk only one unit. So this is representing 1 upon 2. Similarly, minus 1 upon 2. Since this is negative, so we have to walk towards left. So this number towards left, this number is representing minus 1 upon 2. We are only one distance away from 0. Okay, because 1 is in the numerator. Now 3 upon 2. What is this 3 upon 2? So walking distance from the 0 towards right, 1, 2, 3. See carefully what I am doing. 1, 2, 3. So this is 3 upon 2. Similarly, there is minus 3 upon 2. So we have to walk towards left, 1, 2, 3. So this is minus 3 upon 2. We have to do nothing else here. And lastly, we have 5 upon 2. So we have to walk, or we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is, this number is represented 5 upon 2. And we can mark many more numbers which are having 2 in the denominator on the same number line. Like we can mark minus 5 upon 2 as well. All we need to do is to walk minus 5 distance from the 0 towards left, because it is having minus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See carefully what I am doing is I am just taking this distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have stopped here, so we have marked this as minus 5 upon 2. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Here comes our new topic, which is comparison of rational numbers. So we have taken few examples to illustrate that how do we compare different rational numbers. First example is, we have to compare 5 upon 7 and minus 3 over 5. It's an oral question. We can do this question without writing anything, that we have to compare. So definitely 5 over 7 is greater than minus 3 over 5 for sure. How are we able to do this thing directly? Because we know that positive numbers are always greater than negative numbers. So whatever number are given to you, if one is positive and another is negative, then you have to do nothing. Simply the positive number will be the bigger number. And we use this symbol for greater than. We are going to solve this second part, which is 3 upon 5 and 5 upon 7. To compare both the numbers, first of all, we should have the denominators equal. This is our motto to start our answer. We have to keep the denominators equal. So for that, we need to know about LCM. LCM, that is least common multiple. We need to take LCM 5 and 7. Why are we taking this LCM of these two denominators? Because we are interested in making these denominators equal so that we can compare these numbers. Okay, so LCM of 5 and 7 will be simply 5 into 7, which is 35. Why? Because 5 and 7 both are prime numbers. Or you can recall your knowledge by doing this. Simply 5 ones are 5, 7 remains same, and then 7 ones are 7. This is how we used to do the LCM. Okay, as these are prime numbers, so these will be cross multiplied with each other. That's it. So now LCM has came out as 35. So now our task is to make this number, the denominator of this number, as 35. Similarly, the denominator of this number as 35 as well. So for making this number with denominator 35, we need to multiply with 7 in the numerator and the denominator both. Okay, so we get 7 3 is 21 over 35. Similarly, for making this number, making denominator 35, we need to multiply by 5 because 5 is the only number which when multiplied with 7 can give 35, and this is our task. So this is giving us 25 over 35, right? So now nothing remains to do. You have 21 which have came from 3 upon 5, and you have 25 over 35 which is came from 5 upon 7. All you need to compare its numerator. The bigger numerator will correspond to the bigger rational number. So as you can see, 25 is greater than 21, right? Since 25 is greater than 21, so what does it imply? This implies this 25 over 35 is greater than 21 over 35, simply. And now we will convert this into its original form. What was the original form? This came from 5 upon 7. So 5 upon 7 is greater than 3 upon 5. Simple. This is how the comparison is being done of rational numbers. Let's take a quick review. There is 3 upon 5 and 5 upon 7. There are different denominators. We need to make the denominators equal. There is 5, there is 7. We will take the LCM. Okay, so the LCM is 35. Now our task is to make the denominators of both the numbers equal so that we can compare them on the basis of numerator. So as we have done this thing to make its denominator equal, we get 21 upon 35 and 25 upon 35 from the corresponding numbers. So we have observed that yes, 25 upon 35 is greater than 21 over 35 because 25 is greater than 21. So we have reached to our answer that 5 upon 7 is greater than 3 upon 5. So this is how the comparison of rational number is being done. Now the last example I have written here, you will do it yourself. I'm giving you a little hint about it. This is written in mixed fraction, and you know that how to solve the mixed fraction. This is being done as the denominator, and you multiply this denominator with this number, you get 4 into 2, and then you add with the numerator. That is 4 to the 8 plus 3. That is 11 over 4. So this is nothing but 11 upon 4 is written here. And this is nothing but just minus 3 upon 1, because the numbers which are having nothing in denominator, it is considered as 1 in the denominator. So all you need to do is to compare minus 3 upon 1 and 11 upon 4. For that you need to take LCM of 1 and 4, okay, and make denominators equal, and then decide on the basis of numerators, and then you will say that which rational number is bigger. This is it for today's class. We shall continue our topic in the next lecture.